How many of you were dreading that, looking at it and seeing it goes on these multiple pages? Doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about the prodigal son. When I was young, let me first start. I recently was in East Town Mall. I had been in there a little bit of time. And I was walking around in there, and something caught my attention that was unexpected. First of which was the number of stores that are no longer in existence in the mall. How many holes that exist in there now. And secondly, how few people were in there. It's an amazing thing, the change that's taken place there, because West Town, which is what I was much more familiar with when I was younger, growing up in northwest of Madison, that it opened when I was about 5 years old. And I remember that when we would go there, how packed it would be. You'd actually have to drive around the parking lot waiting for somebody to pull out in order to be able to get a parking space to go in. And then when you went in, it was like this huge sea of humanity on the inside. All these people that were wandering around in there. I think the first memory I had of being in there, again, I think this was not too long after it opened. I was in there with my parents again. I was probably 5 years old in that vicinity. And we were wandering through, and it was really kind of wall-to-wall people in there. And, when you're 5 years old, you're supposed to be, walking on your own, right? This gets beyond the parents carrying you stage, which is a risky proposition in the midst of a whole bunch of people, right? When you're packed in, and you're a little tight, and you're walking around, your worldview is a whole different thing, right? Because you're about this tall, and you're looking up, and all you're seeing is big bodies. Well, we're making our way through there, and I don't know what happened, but I got separated from it. And I didn't know what to do. I still remember this because it was kind of traumatic at the time. I didn't know what to do. You're kind of stuck there, and all you're seeing is like people's legs and stuff. And, so I'm using my little 5-year-old brain and doing what any self-respecting 5-year-old would do. I started crying my eyes out. Because what else are you going to do, right? You don't really know, it's not like you're 5 years old 50 years ago. Everybody's carrying a cell phone. Maybe 5-year-olds are even carrying them now. I don't know. But you don't know how you're going to get a hold of anybody, so what do? You know the one thing you can do that gets attention? You start crying, right? And I remember eventually somebody saw me just kind of standing there in the middle of the hallway, takes me over to one of the stores, and one of the clerks comes over and starts talking to me, asking me things like, where's your mom and dad? Do you know where they are? What's their name? And of course, the answer was mom and dad. I don't know if by 5 years old you actually know your parents have a name. I don't know if you figured that out yet. But do you? You know your mom and dad's name? She does? Okay, good. I didn't know. It's been a long time since I've been 5 years old. And so anyway, kind of, getting nowhere with this conversation, but they got leased out of me that my name was Vince. So they called building security, and then, of course, now over the announcing system of West Town is, would the parents of a little boy named Vince please come to whatever store it was? Like, that wasn't embarrassing enough. And eventually they catch up. Now it seems forever that they've been gone. And all of a sudden they show up. And I can still, to this day, remember the look on their face. Because you kind of wonder whether or not you can hold two what seemingly opposite emotions at the same time. But they proved it's possible. That you can be both mad and joyful at the same time. Because they were angry with me for, wandering off or thought I got separated from them. But at the exact same time, in the midst of that anger, they're happy that they found out at least where I was. Maybe I could have been gone a little longer, maybe that would have made them happier, but at least at that moment, they were both happy and mad at the same time. First reading from the book of Exodus is interesting. Because a lot of times, especially in the Old Testament, one of the things that's a common device that's used is to give God human emotions. Now, I think it's done to help prove a point. To understand, for us to understand what God would be feeling if he was one of us. Okay? I think that's the very reason that it's done. It's not because God knows the outcome already, right? He knows what's happening. He knows what's going to happen. He knows why whatever has happened. He doesn't need to get mad. But they use this device in this to understand, I think, for us to better understand if God was one of us, what would we likely feel like? So that we understand when he doesn't do that, how much it means. Right, so Moses has gone up to get the 10 Commandments. He's up on the top of Mount Sinai. He's up there 40 days and 40 nights, we're told. And he's up there getting the 10 Commandments. As he's coming back down, there's this loud commotion in the camp. And all of a sudden, God starts talking to Moses and says, the people have become depraved. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wipe them all out. Get rid of all of them. And then I'm going to start over with you. I'm going to build that promise that I made to Abraham. It's going to be fulfilled through you now. I'm going to get rid of all the rest of them. Because he's angry, or so we're told. Because those 40 days and 40 nights and Moses is up the mountain, what did the Israelites do? They gathered together, collected all the gold earrings and all the gold pieces of the people that were taken, because God had made the Egyptians generous to the people as they were leaving, so they collected gold, among other things, as they were on their way out of Egypt. They'd taken that gold, melted it together, and Aaron himself formed a molten calf, and the people began to worship it. That was the noise that was going on in the camp. Would God be rightfully angry if he was one of us? That the people that he had just done all of these miracles for, led them out of Egypt, that all of a sudden he comes upon them and they have already turned away. If he was one of us, would he have the right to be angry? So he expresses this, as we're told in the book of Exodus. Moses intercedes on the behalf of the people. We're told that God relents of his punishment. God doesn't carry it out because he's still planning to fulfill the promise that he had made. But he had the right to be angry. The gospel readings, there are 3 different parables that are there. We only listed 2, but you're very familiar with the prodigal son. Think about what happens in each of those cases. Something is lost and is then found. The first parable tells us that a sheep is lost. 1 of 100. 99 of them are safe. They're doing fine. But the shepherd goes off in search of the one. He wants the one back. And what's the reaction when he finds it? He's not angry. He's joyful. Wants to call his friends together to rejoice because what was lost has been found. A coin is the second parable. That a coin is lost in the home. We're told about the woman who was searching all over high and low in order to find it. And then when she does find it, what's her reaction? She's not angry because it was misplaced. She was joyful because it was found. There's one we didn't hear, the parable of the prodigal son. We know he goes off, spends his father's property, does all sorts of wicked things. Finally finds himself in the lowest straits that he can find himself to be, and makes the critical decision that he wants to go home. What is the father's reaction as the son begins to return home? Does the father scold him? No. The father runs out. God is about the fighting. Who is lost? Us. We just need to be people who recognize that we just need to want to be found. We don't realize it often enough that we're truly wandering off in the desert. Sometimes in some way we come to pray. God isn't going to be angry with us. He just wants us to turn back. There'll be more joy in heaven over the one